So let's see, what are we? 75 right now on beta hardcore. Dual swords, crit, cyclone. Using blood magic at the moment on a 4-link. And I'm running a 74 map, even though I am only 75. Basically because I've gotten high enough and tested enough with this build that I'm happy. It will work, it is good. Just needs more gear, more playtime, everything. So, yeah, doing a pretty tough map. Potential for death is rather high. But yeah, dual crit swords, definitely back as a very viable alternative for builds on hardcore or softcore. I'm pretty sure I could comfortably keep leveling this guy all the way through hardcore, but yeah, it's time to move on, I think. I have been running Blood Rage as well, but I currently don't have gems to activate it very easily. The way I do that is just getting rid of that. Same with the Golem, I can only cast him by clicking off an aura, resummon the Golem, get Blood Rage on, run around, get my Herald of Thunder back up. And the purpose of that is just to get frenzy charges, which add a lot of DPS to pretty much every build. This map is Torture Chamber, which is 74. It is double boss, so that will be fun. It's probably doable. I don't see any reason it's not, but I may have to reset flasks a few times, and I might die or come on the verge of death a few times. Currently with this setup, my max DPS I think is about 16k, and it will go up pretty much every level, or as I get better gear. Yep, 16k. Crit is probably about 50 on one foil and about 45 on the other foil. It's probably something I should check actually. 64 on one foil and 48 on the other. One has crit, the other one does not. So, I don't know, I do like this build a lot, and it's potentially one I'll be playing early on when Awakening releases, if nothing else has really changed. It's a very fun build to play. It's pretty fast and effective. And I love me some crit swords. What else could I mention? Main defense, I suppose, is evasion. I just don't have much of it right now, as well as acrobatics. Basically have 0 armor. Fortify as well helps a lot. You could attach Fortify to your Whirling Blades. I have not yet done that, just because I don't have blood magic to run with it as well. It also changes your playstyle a bit, because you have to have Whirling Blades through packs a lot more. So far it is very budget. I'm wearing nothing special at all. It's all completely self-found crap. And here comes the big deal challenge. And lasers have already begun, and I need to go reset flasks. Killed myself on Blood Rage. So that's that. And we're on softcore. Anyway, it works. Trust me. It's all good. Yeah, without a flask, I only have 63 lightning resist. I'll do a quick showcase of my gear. This foil's about 210 DPS, got good crit. Pretty basic foil though. This one's maybe less DPS, no crit though. Somehow just found some chest. Some sort of gloves. Some sort of boots. These actually aren't too bad, they're just very mid-tier rolls. That is very average, just gives me some resists. That is very average. Just has some stuff. That is also extremely average. Resists. And a Meganauds. That I actually bought for the build early on. And yeah, just some regular flasks. So yeah, that's that. Pretty good build. I recommend trying it. Hey again guys, so as a lot of you will have noticed, the previous video was completely muted thanks to this Atziri phase. And yeah, that's because there was a bit of music playing in the background. I wasn't quite sure that this would be worth putting up on video, but it became kind of funny and kind of, I don't know, worked out well. Or a lot better than I expected it to. So basically, we're using Conk Effect in part of our 5 link, and the single target DPS is pretty damn strong, as you can tell. As long as you get the right sort of spin on top of Atziri, you'll be critting quite a lot, or for quite a lot, with the current setup. And she dies really quickly. So with the fast movement speed, oh yeah, fairly fast movement speed, but also fast attack speed, you can then whirl and run out of any sort of dangers. So there's really no danger to you on the fight if you get out of everything, really. Yeah, the rest of the run went pretty average because not having capped resist makes the trash really hard as a melee character. And also makes Vaals hard, and I also just kind of face tanked the trio. So that's that. In any case, this character's fairly mid-level, like 75, nothing too special. So yeah, just run around there, get a few shots in, get out of any sort of danger. One thing I did notice on beta though, that people may not have known or noticed yet, is the Flame Blasts at Atziri and the Split Atziri cast. They come slower. So, previously to beta Atziri, the split phase Flame Blast version would just start casting a Flame Blast, as soon as she'd finish it, start casting a new one. This one pauses for about a second or two before casting a new Flame Blast, so you kind of have to adjust for that in your evading rotation. But overall, that's an easier change for the fight. Now, I do die at some point. It might be right here. To some desync. Basically, I go in, I hedge my bets in that I'm going to kill her, and I do absolutely no damage and spin nowhere. It throws me completely off, and I get myself killed just by a couple of spears there. I think 2 of them hit me or something. Since I'm wearing an Abyssus, you know, spears hit me for a lot, especially with sub 4k life. That's just something that changes with more levels, since you can get up to like a 190% life, I think, on this build. I have been filling out damage mostly, just to see the potential of the build. Also, the Abyss is highly unnecessary, but decided to give it a shot, see how much DPS it gives. And yeah, I probably wouldn't ever have used it on hardcore. I wouldn't say ever, but I wouldn't have used it for quite a long time until I hit probably at least 5k life on hardcore. On softcore, it's completely an option, and you can give it a go, play around with it. It just about doubles your DPS, so that's for you to decide if it's worth it. The build itself, though, pretty fun, pretty effective as far as cyclone builds go, crit builds, sword builds, all the above. Yeah. All you gotta do is really, since there's no more name locking in the game, like get a good series of spins on top of a boss and do far more damage than you usually would. Especially if some of those are crit rolls. Since my weapons don't have large amounts of crit and I haven't filled out a lot of crit through jewelry and gear, I've only got about 55-60% chance. Rating does leave something to be desired still. Probably want something like 70-80% just for the consistency. Maybe even use power charge on crit if you're going to grab a Lyra as a bandit. I opted to not get power charges simply because you could only get a maximum of 4 power charges without going heavily out of your way in the passive tree with this build, so I decided it wasn't really worth trying to keep power charges up. Frenzy charges though, you can probably keep them up at least on the trash clearing, and here we find ourselves a Oriani Scepter on my first Atziri kill, which I barely managed to finish, so that was my last portal. And it was not a kill I thought I was going to be getting, so getting that Oriani Scepter was pretty funny. I think that's just about it for the video. Sorry again for the previous one being muted, and hope you enjoyed some of this action.